Hi, Nikhil, can you get us up to speed? Dramatic developments just while Pakistan was supposed to play the match with UAE. What more can you add? Are we actually looking at Pakistan now pulling out of the Asia Cup officially?
Okay, first things first, Preeti, the press conference has happened by the PCB. It just happened a few moments ago. However, they did not take any question. There was just one statement that was issued by the PCB just a short while ago where they have informed us, and this is something that we broke on India Today about an hour ago, where they have informed that the game has been pushed back by an hour. Remember, the game was to start at 8 p.m. India time. So official start of the game was still 1 hour away. We are right now at 7 p.m. 8 p.m. India time was the official start of the game. It has now been pushed back to 9 p.m. India start. That means 2 hours from now is when the game could start, which is to say that officially Pakistan Cricket Board has not pulled out of the game. They have not pulled out of the game at the moment. What they've told us is that hectic negotiations are still on between the PCB, the Asian Cricket Council and the ICC. Based on what comes out of that meeting, a final call would be taken. The bus that is to carry the Pakistani players to the stadium is standby at the hotel. The bus is loaded with all the kit packs. So the players are also ready to go to the stadium, but they're awaiting a green signal from their board. They've been informed that the game has been pushed back by an hour. So that's the latest that we can tell you in terms of where the game stands. No official pullout at the moment.
Nikhil, you're speaking of negotiations which are right now on between the PCB and the ICC. What do the negotiations rest on? Because the two demands that have been put forth by the PCB haven't been accepted yet. One, of course, removal of the referee, and second, that Surya Kumar Yadav, the Indian team captain, be penalized for what Pakistan deemed were political remarks.
Well, that's right, Preeti. Now, just to give you a bit of a background, what I learned in the last 24 hours or so, that there was only one demand that the Pakistan Cricket Board had, and that was the removal of Andy Poycroft from the tournament itself because of the inaction that he showed in their India versus Pakistan game. That was their first demand. That, in fact, was turned down yesterday by the ICC. What I was told later, that there was some unofficial communication that happened between the ICC as well as PCB, and there was a compromise sort of a formula where at best ICC said that, listen, there are two match referees that have been assigned to cover the Asia Cup, and what they can do is they can shuffle the match referee. That is not going beyond the rule. So they will not fire Andy Poycroft from the tournament. There's another match referee in Richie Richardson who could then be assigned to be match referee, and shuffling of match referees is not uncommon, and that's not outside the rule book. So I then learned that Richie Richardson had traveled from Abu Dhabi. That's where he was supposed to be to manage the other game that was played in the tournament. He reached Dubai this morning, which means to say that he was on standby to be the match referee for this particular game. That is where things were. What happened in the last few hours is what I believe there was a lot of political pressure on the PCB saying that, listen, just shuffling of match referee will not suffice. That will not help us save our face. We need to be seen to be acting a bit more sternly, and we need some more concrete action for us to allow our team to play. So in the last 3 hours, in fact, there have been hectic negotiations where Pakistan have upped their demand. They said, listen, just the shuffling of match referee might not suffice. You need to remove Andy Poycroft. And secondly, you need to fine Surya Kumar Yadav according to the rule book because he made two political references in that game. One happened right after in the official post-match press conference where he dedicated it to the Indian Armed Forces. And then there was an official press conference a few moments later where he addressed the accredited media and said that this is dedicated to the armed forces for the successful completion of Operation Sindoor. Those are the words used. PCB said, according to the rule books, no political reference can be there. So we want Andy Poycroft as the match referee to take some sort of action. Just to let you know, typically there has been action taken against players for any political reference. Typically it's a fine which could range from anywhere between 20 to 40% of your match fee. If that was done, that would then go on to, in some light show Pakistan having acted in some way and got some sort of a face-saving exercise done. So these are the two demands which haven't been accepted. Right now negotiations are on. The possibility is that Pakistan may still continue to play this game, which is delayed by an hour, even if their demands are not met. However, on this condition that this matter continue to be heard in the next few days. So under protest, they might still play the game because they would, be advised not to pull out of a tournament. That could invite a lot of sanctions, which a Pakistan Cricket Board at the moment cannot afford.
Nikhil, just stay on with me because we're keeping in with the news. So let me hark back. Pakistan hasn't pulled out of the Asia Cup yet, but their game with UAE has been pushed by an hour. All eyes on what Pakistan does right now. I want to bring in our consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, if political nationalistic machismo, is to be believed, then one would say that Pakistan has surrendered in cricket. But ultimately, Rajdeep, the gentleman's game is not gentlemanly anymore, falling collateral to domestic politics, especially where the Pakistan team is concerned.
Look, Preeti, you may not like this, and this is an unpopular opinion. Both sides, I repeat, both sides, BOTH, both sides have fallen to their domestic political constituencies. You may like to wear the Indian flag on this issue. I wear the flag of cricket. A game which I love for years, and the fact is Surya Kumar Yadav had no reason to use an official platform to make a political statement. That is against the rules. Handshake or not is a convention. You cannot make political statements from an from a official platform. Usman Khwaja was censured for wanting to wear an armband in support of Gaza. So let's be very clear. That was the mistake, I believe, on the Indian side. On the Pakistani side, please understand, their cricket board is run by Mohsin Naqvi, Interior Minister in the Shahbaz Sharif government. Someone who follows the diktats of Field Marshal Asim Munir. Someone who has been making the most obnoxious statements against India. Someone who really is simply using this platform for his own politics. So you've got Mohsin Naqvi on one side, and you've got the ICC, which is headed by Jai Shah, the son of Amit Shah, India's Home Minister. Please appreciate what I'm saying. You've got this is the real proxy war taking place between the Home Ministry here and the Interior Ministry in Pakistan. And that's the problem. The players are pawns. Surya Kumar Yadav was told what he had to say from all indications. And the Pakistani players are doing exactly what Mohsin Naqvi is trying to do. This is the Pakistani Cricket Board, in my view, has done what is a gross, ill-advised move to react in the manner that they have. Because for God's sake, the game must come first. You want to prove a point, go on the field and win matches. Instead, Mohsin Naqvi is using these players as a pawn because he knows that he will be red-faced when he goes back to Pakistan from the domestic constituency of his as to how did you respond to Surya Kumar Yadav's message. Andy Pycroft, the match referee, also is a pawn in this game. What could Andy Pycroft do? If Surya Kumar Yadav refuses to shake hands with Salman Agha, that's Surya Kumar's choice. I may not agree with it, but that's only a convention. But when Surya Kumar Yadav spoke of Operation Sindoor and the army in an official press conference, he was violating ICC rules. And the ICC should have drawn a line. When Mr. Jai Shah sits on the ICC, he's not representing India, he's representing the ICC. So we need to have clear rules. Similarly, when Mohsin Naqvi is the chairman of the Asian Cricket Council, he's not sitting there as Interior Minister of Pakistan. He should recognize that the game is much bigger. So that's the problem, right. Preeti, let's be honest. I want to call a spade a spade. Unfortunately, nobody wants to call a spade a spade. There's too much of pussyfooting going on. If my old friend, the great Vishan Singh Bedi was there, he would say, what
I actually concur. Rajdeep, I concur with you. I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying because clearly what we've witnessed is politics in the game of cricket. India should not have played.
What has happened in the last 24 hours.
Then you would have treated it like a sport. Okay. I want to bring in, Rajdeep, just hold that thought. I'm coming right back to you. Clearly, you're very passionate about your stand. I want to also just get in visuals coming in. The PCB guys are in a huddle. There are decisions that are being made, and Rajdeep just gave us the political context to the PCB. I want to bring in Nikhil to elucidate a tad more. Nikhil, over to you. Visuals coming in of the PCB in a huddle right now. trying to figure out what would be their next move.
Preeti, quick updates now. One, of course, we spoke about Najam Sethi, who is a minister as well as a former PCB president as well. He's in consultation with the current interior minister and Ramiz Raja, who was at one point heading the PCB a short while ago. They are all in a huddle. They are consulting what to do. But I've also got some breaking news for you at the moment. The Pakistan cricket team is now beginning to leave the hotel, is what we're picking up, towards the stadium. So the team is about to leave the hotel and go towards the stadium, which is then an indication that the game will go ahead. Of course, seems like better sense has prevailed. The game, as I'd mentioned earlier, as we broke here on India Today First about an hour ago, has been pushed back by an hour, which will be 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time instead of 8 p.m. In fact, the team is now, as I speak, is heading into the bus. They're getting inside the bus and the team is leaving for the stadium. So that's the big update. No calling off of that game versus UAE. That's the first bit of news that we are giving you here at the moment. Pakistan team.
मनाजिर इस वक्त आप जियो न्यूज की स्क्रीन पर देख रहे हैं। पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम के कप्तान सलमान अली आगा और उनके साथ पाकिस्तानी क्रिकेट टीम और जो मैनेजमेंट है वो बस में बैठ रही है और यहां से दुबई स्टेडियम के लिए रवाना होगी। 1 घंटा आगे वक्त बढ़ाया गया और हम ये देख सकते हैं, जिस तरह से आरिफ भी बता रहे हैं कि सलमान अली आगा जब यहां से होटल से बाहर आए तो उन्होंने हाथ भी हिलाया और काइंड ऑफ विक्ट्री का निशान भी उन्होंने बताया।
ये मुस्बत मनाजिर हैं, मुस्बत डेवलपमेंट है। चेयरमैन पीसीबी मोहसिन नकवी की जानिब से खिलाड़ियों को कहा गया आपसे कुछ देर पहले कि वो होटल से रवाना हो स्टेडियम के लिए और आज का मैच पाकिस्तान और यूएई के दरमियान खेला जाएगा। तमाम का तनाज़
Just seeing those visuals on your screen at the moment, that is the Pakistan team that's leaving for the stadium to play the game versus UAE. Just so that you know, the game has also been delayed by an hour. The official start time is 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. The game is now scheduled to start at 9 p.m. This delay was caused because of the negotiations that were happening between the ICC and the PCB. That meeting got over a short while ago, and now the PCB is in a huddle and they are negotiating at the moment and coming to a consensus as to what they need to do going forward. In all likelihood, as things stand right now, the PCB may have agreed to play this particular game in protest, because remember, pulling out wouldn't have been the right option. That would have resulted in sanctions for the PCB. That would have resulted in a financial loss. They were stood to gain somewhere between 16.5 to 17 million dollars. That's about 8 to 10% of their yearly revenue. That is something that they would have lost. And not only that, because they were in negotiations with the ICC, and even though this may be an Asian Cricket Council tournament, remember, because the negotiations were on with the ICC could have taken further steps to isolate Pakistan or have some sort of sanctions imposed on Pakistan going forward because they forfeited this particular match. So I think better sense has prevailed. If you look at it from Pakistan's point of view, they may still be playing the game. They may not have gotten their side of the bargain that we were bargaining for. One is an apology by Andy Poycroft, and one is the removal of Andy Poycroft from the tournament. And the second bit that they were asking for is some sort of a fine on Suryakumar Yadav. We don't know what might happen of that, but what I'm picking up at the moment is that those negotiations may still carry on for days to come. It wasn't something that you could have arrived to a conclusion immediately. Maybe that's
so, Nikhil, what you're suggesting right now is that Pakistan has not been given any assurances yet, but they have decided to go ahead and play that match. At least the optics of it all seem to indicate that. No assurances from the ICC, yet they're going ahead. At least what we seem to be understanding by the visuals that are coming in.
That's correct. That's correct. As far as we know, there has been no assurances that they may have given to PCB. In any way, it's not possible for an ICC to arrive at a conclusion. They may have told them that, listen, we're going to look into the matter. These are fresh demands that you have presented to us. Your demand till now was not having Andy Poycroft, and I believe there was a sort of a halfway solution that they had come to, whereby they were ready to rotate the match referee at one point. But because the demands had changed, I don't think there was enough time to reach some sort of a conclusion there, which is the reason why they may try to push these negotiations going forward, which is why the PCB officials are in a huddle trying to prepare what will be the next course of action, because somewhere down the line they realize that pulling out of the tournament is not an option. It'll only end up
I want to bring in
isolating.
Rajdeep back into this conversation. Nikhil, stay on with me. Because, as with what we are witnessing, the team has now left the hotel. They've gotten into their bus. Victory signs are being flashed by the players. So it does seem that the match is going to be played against the UAE. I also want to bring in Nitin Srivastava into this conversation. But Rajdeep, so much being done for domestic political consumption. We just did a short while ago dip into the visuals coming in from GeoTV, which is a Pakistani network. And all indications seem to suggest that these are optics which are playing out more for political gain and way less where the sporting spirit of cricket comes into question.
What do you expect, Preeti, when the PCB chairman is the Interior Minister of Pakistan and someone who has on more than one occasion openly held out nuclear threats to India? I mean, it's one thing to say I'm PCB chairperson, I'm the chairperson of the Asian Cricket Council, and yet you issue such statements. I mean, look at some of the statements even the Pakistani players have issued in recent times. I mentioned Surya Kumar Yadav, and as I believe Surya Kumar Yadav crossed a line, I'm very clear about that, much as I love him as a cricketer. But look at the statements the Pakistani cricketers have been making for months on end. I mean, you see, once players start behaving as if they are soldiers in uniform, and once administrators wear their political hat, then how do you expect this to remain a game? So therefore, what Mohsin Naqvi has done in the last 24 hours, Preeti, is use the players as pawns to save his own political skin in Pakistan. And that is very, very unfortunate. If all of this was to happen, maybe the Asia Cup shouldn't have been held in the first place.
It augur well for him as well. And why I say that is because news just coming in, Andy Pycroft will continue to be the referee of the match. That seems to suggest, Rajdeep, that the intentions of the PCB and Pakistan to play to their domestic constituency and lobby has quite failed. So either it was, all of it was nothing more than just optics and they didn't really mean to follow through. But having said that, the referee hasn't changed. Surya Kumar Yadav hasn't been penalized, or has he apologized? Nothing quite changes. So despite of what the optics played out in the last 20 minutes, nothing's come out of it.
Well, absolutely. But let me say this. Assume that Pakistan wins against the UAE today and qualifies. They will play India again on Sunday, which will be the next Super 4 match. So that gives the two sides about 3 days to get their act together. Because I cannot see a situation where possibly Pycroft will again be the referee for that match. And I think Nikhil made the more important point. And really, the PCB got it wrong in the first instance. I maintain this was not Pycroft's fault. The fault, if anything, was for the ICC to have put in place clear rules that you cannot make political statements on a cricket ground. You can make them off the cricket ground, but not in an official press conference. That should have been the rule, and that should have been settled. Now, maybe the next 72 hours, if Pakistan wins. I mean, if they lose, they're out of the tournament. If they win and have to play India on Sunday, between now and Sunday, there will have to be some kind of rule set as to what is acceptable and what is not. We do not want history to repeat itself first as tragedy and later as farce. It's extremely sad to see what's been happening. And I think prime culpability at the moment is Mohsin Naqvi, who according to me is wearing the hat of the Interior Minister of Pakistan, taking his orders from the Pakistan Army state. Yes, I do believe that 2 days ago, India could have also handled the situation much better. But today, Pakistan bears the prime responsibility. And hopefully, by Sunday, all these arguments will have been settled behind closed doors and not in the manner where players are waiting. Imagine you're playing a big match and you're waiting in your hotel room and are suddenly told the match is pushed by 1 hour and now are told rush to the stadium. Think about the impact it has on the players and think what it does to young people who follow this game in both countries. This is not why we followed this game.
What? All right, but Sunday match will only happen, and Nikhil, I want to bring you in, provided that Pakistan beats UAE, this evening. But all indications now, Nikhil, if you want to just lay it out for our viewers, seem to suggest Pakistan is going ahead and playing their match where UAE is concerned. both the requests or both the demands of Pakistan have not been taken into account by the ICC. And right now, despite the optics, despite the apprehensions, despite the muscle flexing which has come down to a knot, Pakistan is going ahead and playing that match. Is there a confirmation on that?
Well, that's right, Preeti. Now you can pretty much confirm that Pakistan is going ahead and playing that match. They've left the hotel and are on their way to the ground. Of course, there's still an hour and a half, a little more than that, for the game to start. So enough time then for them to prep up for this game. What happens to their future participation in the tournament depends on this result. If they are to beat UAE, then they are scheduled to play India once again on the 21st. But as we found out, they had multiple demands, and I must tell you that that goalpost was changed. They started with the demand of only taking action against Andy Poycroft and have him removed from the tournament. That was a demand that was turned down to begin with. Then they changed the goalpost as to one additional demand of an apology from Andy Poycroft. That hasn't happened because the ICC has said that he hasn't acted out of the rules, so there is no question of him giving an apology. The second demand that they have is some sort of an action be taken based on the rule book against Indian captain Suryakumar Yadav for bringing in political statements in the field of play and then in an official press conference. So those two demands have been put forward by the PCB, and the ICC hasn't conceded to any of those demands so far. However, because the PCB right now is huddled together discussing their next course of action, there is a possibility that these negotiations with the ICC may continue going forward. But right now, because the game was on the day, it would have been ill-advised for Pakistan to pull out and then shoot themselves in the foot, because that would have only invited sanctions and an uncertain future going forward. So I think because of that, they've continued to play this game, but their protest...
Nikhil, okay, so what's coming in? We can confirm for our viewers that the Asia Cup match 10, Pakistan versus UAE, is going to take place. It will start at 7:30 p.m. local time, which is Dubai time. The toss will take place at 7 p.m. So a confirmation coming in on that front. That match is going to be played by Pakistan and UAE. Provided Pakistan beats UAE, that would then mean that Pakistan will once again face India come this Sunday. And viewers, that would be keenly watched in terms of both politics and sports, because we've seen that line blur somewhere in the middle where politics and sports was concerned. All right, so the Pakistan team has reached the venue. Nitin Srivastav is still with me. Nitin, what's the latest that you can add? The Pakistan team bus has reached the venue and the toss will now take place at 7 p.m. Nikhil, you want to come in on that?
That's right. That's something, Preeti, that I just confirmed a short while ago, that the team is on its way to the ground, and the game should start 9 p.m. Indian time. That's the first bit of news. So you could also look at, this sort of tactics by the PCB, because this is something that I had picked up for the last 12 hours or so, that in their minds they had pretty much made up their minds that they will be playing this game. I think these tactics of delaying it by an hour is sort of pressure tactics that they've come up with so as to get some sort of leeway, so as to get some of their demands met going forward. They possibly knew that
Keep
it might
an eye
not
on all
be
developments. Do stay on with me. Let's try and get in some other opinion coming in on the developments that are taking place. We had Mr. Brahmachalani, foreign affairs expert, and Vivek Karju on something entirely different, but that's the beauty, or rather, that is what the nature of breaking news is. But Mr. Brahmachalani, if you'd want to come in and, if we can draw out a comment with all the optics that are playing right now between India and Pakistan, where the game of cricket clearly falling to domestic politics, either sides of the divide though.
Really, no sports is completely free of politics. Certainly not cricket. It's never been free of politics. And today, the fact that Pakistan's interior minister heads the Pakistan Cricket Board clearly indicates the nexus between sports and politics in Pakistan. And the bigger picture, though, is a bit troubling, because the controversy that arose over the Indian snub, and in fact, the very match between India and Pakistan, and the prospect of a repeat India-Pakistan match on Sunday, all that is in fact, reinforcing the India-Pakistan hyphenation, something that India doesn't want, which raises a larger question as to why the Modi government compelled the Indian cricket team to face Pakistan. The second thing that really is also very relevant to the discussion that you're having is that in any sports, it's the finance that really calls the shots. India is the economic engine of international cricket, which is the reason why Jay Shah is the chairperson of the International Cricket Council. The Asia Cup tournament largely is financed by India. And because India being the economic engine of cricket, it gives India a lot of heft, also a lot of control on cricket, even on framing rules and even driving, for example, even on issues of differences and disputes, the Indian crowd, the financial crowd, is a very important element in the field of cricket. So putting all that together, I think the key point is this, that while India doesn't like to be hyphenated with Pakistan, all that is happening now is only reinforcing that hyphenation.
All right, Vivek Karju wants to come in and make a point. Go ahead, Mr. Karju.
Look, the fact is that there is no way in which Pakistan would not have played the UAE. That is a specific context. UAE Pakistan relations are such that Pakistan will never offend the UAE. That is something that everyone needs to take into account. Yes, the ICC is in charge of these matters, but the game is between UAE and Pakistan, and whatever the tantrums they may be doing, at the end of the day, the Pakistani dependence on the UAE is multifaceted, and it's so deep that they would not, try to ruffle UAE feathers. That's point one. Point two, if this game, the final, is going to be played in the UAE between India and Pakistan, I can give you an assurance that the UAE will ensure through the ICC mechanism that there will be no embarrassment on their soil. The UAE, this is now beyond cricket. It is beyond the ICC. It involves UAE prestige too. Now, this is the basic fact that sports writers and those who take a narrower view of the game would not have appreciated. But I can tell you from my diplomatic experience that the key in these negotiations now will be the UAE person on the board, and they will all look to the UAE to sort it out, because the UAE will tell India as well as Pakistan, please don't embarrass us on our soil. And the Peninsular Arab is very sensitive to these issues where his prestige or his nation's prestige is concerned. So again, 2 points. This game would have gone on in any eventuality, and I'm sure that the Indians would have known this, that whatever the tantrums the Pakistanis may do, they will ultimately play the UAE because they will not want to embarrass the UAE. And the second point is that if there is a game between India and Pakistan, the UAE people will tell both sides that, look, don't embarrass us here.